Kevin McCullough, glad you're with us. AFA Today from the AFA Today studios in New York, and we've got a pretty nice day here. It's in the season I call almost fall, because your summer is over, friend. Your kids are back to school. Things are going. You're getting up in the morning. Your routine is set. It is not summer. Summer is over. The fun is gone. You are now a slave to everything that is autumn, even though it's not here yet. So I call it almost fall. It'll be here before you know it. But it is after Labor Day, and that means we're in the throes, man. This is where life gets real. And AFA Today intends to be here for you every single day, doing our best to bring you the news that matters. And if you are not able to stay up to date with us all the time, make sure you get on onenewsnow.com. Peruse the headlines and see for yourself. One of the stories that everyone is talking about is the fact that John Boehner today, through his wholehearted support behind President Obama's plan to militarily retaliate against Syria's dictator, Mr. Bashar al-Assad. Mr. Assad, one of those interesting characters that current Secretary of State, former Senator John Kerry had dinner with numerous times. Ms. Pelosi went to go see personally. Vogue magazine did a huge write-up about his wife and how cool she was and how they were just, really misunderstood and all the rest of it. By the way, they took that offline. You can't see that now. My wife actually tried to forward me the link, and she's like, Kev, they expunged it. It's as though the article was never written. It's been literally removed from the archives. But nonetheless, it is a troubling day, and the president came out on Saturday and said, hey, he nuked, chemically speaking, gassed and burned women and children. This is horrible. This crosses a red line. We can't go back past that. We've got to retaliate against this. But he said he was going to kick it down to Congress and ask them their opinion on it. And I've asked your opinion about whether or not you want Congress to go forward with that or not. 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Also, you can drop me an email. I always am interested in seeing what you have to say, even if it's after the show. kmcradio@gmail.com, KMC, Kevin McCullough, kmcradio@gmail.com. And this little fun, this is just going to be just for fun, the almost fall fun that we're going to have here on AFA Today. For the next few weeks, I think I've got enough copies to last us at least through the month of September. Every Friday, I'm going to give away a copy of the New York Times best-selling book, The Harbinger. Have you read The Harbinger? Messianic Rabbi Jonathan Cahn wrote it 3-4 years ago now. And we're going to interview him, have him on the show, and talk about this. But what is interesting about The Harbinger, and if you get into it and you read it and you understand it, and you need to understand something about Rabbi Cahn. He does not claim that it's authoritative like Scripture. All he does is say, hey, look, in the Old Testament, God gave these 9 seals. Boom, 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 boom. And these were the signs of them. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, and by the way, look at the signs that are taking place in America. Boom, 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 boom. Huh. Isn't that interesting? That's basically the book in a nutshell. But what do the 9 signs mean? What do they stand for? Is there any historical precedent as to why they're important? Does Syria play a role in all of this? We're going to ask Rabbi Cahn. I'm going to have the chance to sit down and do an extended interview with him, I think probably at his church office in the very near future. And when we do, we're gonna bring that interview to you. It will be a don't miss. But here's your chance to win. Every Friday for September, I'm going to draw a name of people that register to win one. And here's what I want to know. Send us an email, kmcradio@gmail.com. In the subject line, put Harbinger, Harbinger, Harbinger. This will be a signed copy. Rabbi Cahn, and I'll even put a little note in there from myself as well, just thanking you for listening to AFA Today. But this will be a signed copy. I want to know 2 things. Where do you listen to us at? Do you listen to us on podcast off afr.net? Do you listen to us in your car, at your home? What part of the country are you in? Would love to hear where the AFA Today listenership is at. And then, of course, you need to give us your address so we can send you the copy of the book. But be listening on Fridays. And some weeks we may have more than one copy to give away. I just have to count how many I actually have. But we'll do this throughout the month of September just for fun. And all you have to do is to register, send your name, where you're listening, and your address to kmcradio@gmail.com. kmcradio@gmail.com. The great AFA Today Almost Fall Harbinger giveaway. That's a mouthful. But we'll do that on Fridays and have some fun with that. kmcradio@gmail.com is the email address. Put Harbinger in the subject line and give us your name, address, and where you listen to AFA Today in the body of the email. All right. More of your responses to the two questions I asked, which were very simple. The president said he wants the authorization from Congress for a military strike. Now, I asked this question. If it's really a moral imperative, does it matter if Congress says yes or no? I mean, and that's a philosophical question. I understand. It's a big picture question. You know, if it's an ultimate question about the moral rightness or wrongness of what's happening, should it be left to the whims of a body of Congress if it's truly a moral imperative? See, here's what I'm wondering. He gets to the end, Congress like narrowly doesn't authorize him. You know, like he gets 48 in favor and 52 against, percentage-wise. Does he then come back to the American people and say, well, if it weren't for those, handful of obstinate, stubborn people in Congress, we would be able to do what was right. So I've made the estimated decision in my estimable estimation of myself that we're going to do this anyway because it's the moral imperative. It's the right thing to do. I just wonder if that's going to happen. I mean, maybe Congress is going to come back and go, no, 100% to zero. Go and do it. Or maybe there's going to be a large majority. It'll just be interesting to see. And we're just going to have to kind of wait it out and see where it goes. Let's talk to Charles calling from Texas. Charles, you're up next on AFA Today with Kevin McCullough. Hi.
I really believe that Congress should not allow this to happen. I don't think we should be over there. And the other question, I believe he will listen to them because it gives him an easy out.
Okay.
If the questions rise, if things get worse, he can say, hey, I wanted to do something, but Congress
I tried. My heart was really in it. I tried to tell them, but my Congress said I couldn't do it. So I couldn't do the right thing because Congress said no.
Exactly.
See, I think he set himself up in this situation to really not have a bad outcome for himself. Because right. if they vote to give him and he goes and does it and it goes bad, Congress said to do it. Or if he looks like a hero, Congress, forget Congress. I did it. It was all my leadership that did it. If they say no, I can't do it because Congress said. And then if things get really bad over there, Congress said I had to listen to the Congress. Oh, by the way, maybe Congress was wrong. Maybe we should rewrite the Constitution. Like there's so many angles that work in his favor on the outcomes of this. I just don't see how he, from a PR standpoint, doesn't come out spinning something that makes him look cool. 888-589-8840. Not that cool is all that important, certainly not to me. Janelle, welcome. You're on AFA Today with Kevin McCullough. Glad you're here.
Glad to be here. I totally agree with the previous caller, and I don't think that Obama has the right to do this, and if the other countries surrounding Syria are not worried, why should we be? I mean, I know it's sad that the children got killed, but we kill over 3,000 babies a day with abortion. So, it's kind of a double standard, I think.
Janelle, what's impressive about this, what you're saying, is that you immediately went to the same place that the lovely bride did as she's watching Obama on Saturday, which she was doing against her will. She wanted to be seeing the U.S. Open. But she's like, okay, I don't want to be listening to this. And then as he's saying stuff, she's like, yeah, but what about abortion? Oh, it's a moral imperative to save these kids, but you don't give a lick about these kids over here.
Right.
And I'm wondering if that wasn't the reaction that most moms in the country had on Saturday.
Well, I hope so, and I hope they all let Congress know that they're not wanting to get involved in this situation.
Yeah. All right.
By the way,
Janelle.
I did read The Harbinger, and it was a great book.
Yeah. It wasn't it interesting, though, those parallels between ancient Israel and modern America?
Right. It's almost scary.
Well, and we hope to have him on soon, Janelle, so thank you. And if you want to try your hand at getting an autographed copy by Rabbi Khan, just send us the email, kmcradio@gmail.com. Put Harbinger in the subject line, and then tell us where you're listening from and your mailing address in the body of the email. All right, David in Mississippi, you're up next. Hi.
Yes, I was calling to disagree with your first callers, and then the last two, I sound more like them in that the answers to your question would be no and yes, and the second one...
Okay, tell me why. Tell me your thinking behind it.
All right, the reason behind that is he's caught between a rock and a hard place, and it's all because back when he was campaigning, he drew this red line. He never thought that Syria would do this. Now that they have, he has to make it look like he's doing something about it. And so I think he really doesn't want to go into Syria, but he thinks he has no choice to. And so now he's leaving it up to Congress, and he's hoping that Congress doesn't give him permission to, so then he doesn't have to go in. Is one reason why. And then the other reason why is this is everything we've been talking about and will be talking about for the next few days. And what about defunding Obamacare? That's not going to happen because of this mess in Syria, so he's happy about that. So it takes care of all of his problems being...
Well, and David, not just that, but September 11th rolling around, and forget New York and 9/11/201. That will be the anniversary of the Benghazi attack, and there's still no justice for that. There's no explanation for it. There's very unsatisfactory response to it in general, and this does cover up the news noise that should be being made about why we don't have answers there. I agree with you there. This is a perfect wag the dog right here.
Yeah.
All right, David, thanks for the call. Let's take some more before we go to our next break. Marcus in West Virginia, you're up next on AFA Today with Kevin McCullough on AFR Talk. Hi.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure thing.
I have two questions. The answer to the first one is no, I don't think we should go and bomb Syria. And my reasoning, not that we don't have a reason to intervene in that, but I think that we should not, at least at this early stage, because not only has the president not, but Congress has not yet presented to the American people the full scope of the situation. We don't. Yes, to just say we're going to do some airstrikes is one thing, but what could be the repercussions of those airstrikes? Most rational thinking Americans know what those repercussions are, but I think it's up to the president and Congress to state exactly what our intent is and what we're going to do, and also lay out to them what the blowback will be for that, because we know there will be blowback from that.
Yep.
The second question.
Will he follow their wishes?
I don't know. My gut tells me, because of the way he governs, that obviously he wants to be able to take care of the Syria issue. But if he does not get approval for that, my gut tells me that he probably will go ahead and do that anyway.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting, Marcus. I appreciate your call. Sorry that we're out of time. Friends, thank you for being with us, and thank you for daily committing yourself to obliterating confusion and replacing it with truth and pursuing clarity. It's what we do here on AFA Today. It's also what we do each night on the Kevin McCullough Show on many of these same stations and online at afr.net. Join us at 8 p.m. Eastern for that, or 4 a.m. Eastern nationwide for that broadcast. Until tomorrow, I'm Kevin McCullough.
The views and opinions expressed